Radha Swami's done so much work especially in Bombay, all around the world, but in Bombay, every year we take a group of students on pilgrimage. The outreach that ashram alone does is 210,000 plates of food go out today. It's even hard to even fathom 200,000 meals, but somehow incredibly organized, happening every day. He's established an orphanage, a hospital.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Sri Radhe. Nava Nava Rangi Nava Latribangi Shama Surangi Sri Krishna Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Sri Radhe Timidandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I am very grateful for this opportunity to be with all of you this evening. I didn't have a map. I didn't have any money. But I had faith that if I just keep hitchhiking in the eastern direction, someday I would hit India. So many people asked me to write this book over about 35 years, and I always said no. I thought it was an act of arrogance to write about me. And I was thinking, if I actually tell what really happened, no one will believe it. But then one of my dearest friends, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, on his deathbed, he made me promise that I would write the book. He said it would be arrogant to not write it if it will help people. And after promising him, he looked up at me, he said, "You cannot lie to a man on his deathbed. You must write it and publish it." Anyways, I was emotional in those days, so I made the promise. What I experienced is whoever we are, if we really tune in to accessing grace, to accessing wisdom, it can be revealed to us in the most incredible ways. I'd just like to tell you a couple little stories. One, Kailash Baba. He was about 6'5", huge mountain of a man, in his mid-60s. I was just 20. He taught me that if you honor and respect them for who they are, and give them the space that they need, they will honor and respect you. He said the way you have to do that is you have to recognize that you are an eternal soul. You're not this body. You're a part of God. And that wherever there's life, there is the presence of the soul. And then the soul in the snakes, and the soul in the leopards, and the soul in all these different animals, they are sacred, they are divine. They are your brothers and sisters. And there's nothing to fear of them. Love them, honor them. He taught me how to go to villages and beg, and to do it with integrity and dignity, not as a beggar, but as a person who's sincerely seeking the truth. And please listen carefully. He did not speak a word of English, and I did not speak Hindi, his language. Everything he taught me was either through a point of the finger, a gesture of the hand, a raising of the eyebrow, a glance, explaining things. It wasn't the language. It was the connection of our hearts. He really wanted to teach me, and I really wanted to learn. I lived with one of the greatest woman saints of the day. Her name was Anandamayi Ma. A couple lessons she taught me that I'll never forget. I write about it in The Journey Home. She said, love is everlasting forgiveness. Took me years to meditate on that, what that really means. And then in studying the lives of so many saints, of so many different traditions, that's the quality of people who really connect to that divine love, is everlasting forgiveness. And she told me that God sends sorrow for the purpose of removing all sorrows from you forever. God sends challenges and obstacles for the purpose of removing all challenges and obstacles forever. In other words, if we see it in that vision, she was saying, if you see the grace of God in every situation, you grow and you're liberated. It's not a question of what we've done in the past or who we are now. It's a question of, do we want to connect? Do we want to focus? And where there's just that sincerity, a divine power beyond our own facilitates everything. This chanting of the holy names is a very simple way of tuning in to the grace, the love, and the ecstatic nature of who we are. The journey home is a story of how I learned the same lessons, really, that each and every one of us could learn just living right here in New York City, if we just open our hearts. And I thank you very much.
His words, his presence just came straight to my heart, and I felt like that's where I heard from. And his stories were amazing and inspiring, you know.
I am just deeply, deeply touched in his presence and his way of teaching and telling stories. He's an amazing, amazing man. I'm honored and blessed to have been exposed to him.
I personally feel that Radhanath Swami is one of the single most important teachers alive right now in terms of his wisdom and generosity and clarity for expressing the teachings and sharing his wisdom with us. I feel he's a real gift. He's a real gift for us all.
And to sit and hear the stories and be with someone who's actually helped bring the tradition from India is really powerful. And the fact that he is so with it and hip, but really had those adventures and really lived those stories is just super inspiring.